What's up everyone, this is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Great League. All the leagues are back during this week, and Great League is definitely my preferred league to play in. I'm a lot more comfortable with a lot of the matchups in Great League, even though you do see a crazy wide variety of Pokemon in Open Great League. I still really enjoy the meta, and getting to use lots of different Pokemon is super fun. The battles that you're going to see today are with this team of Swampert Double Steel, which you've seen featured on my channel before. I still think it's a really strong team. The reason being is that it's designed to help you try to come back if you lose the lead. So I know a lot of times, like, people might be wondering if you go negative on a set, or if you have a couple negative sets in a row, wondering if the team is bad. Not necessarily. Sometimes you just have bad streaks in Go Battle League. Sometimes you just run into teams that line up very, very well against your team, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. If your team is designed or has play to help you come back from a bad lead, then in my opinion, it's a good team. If it's got enough bulk, if it's well-rounded, and allows you to cover as many matchups as possible. And I think this team is a great example. So Swampert in the lead is going to struggle against Altaria. It's going to really struggle against grass types. And so by having two steel types in the back, it really helps you potentially come back from a bad lead scenario if you do run into one of those things. Now, I've been using Registeel as the safe swap in a lot of these games, but I think Skarmory is equally as viable as a safe swap. What most likely occurs when you safe swap one of those steals is that either an Alolan Marowak is going to come out, or a Galarian Stunfisk is going to come out, or like a Bastiodon, something like that. Obviously, if you like swap the Skarmory and it's met with the Bastiodon, that's absolutely terrible. That's where I feel like Registeel is a little bit safer there, but what has been happening a lot is when you swap the Registeel, it's met with an Alolan Marowak, and that's not the most ideal situation. What I typically do is store a Hydro Cannon like I just did there in that battle, and then swap. That way, worst case scenario, if it is met with an Alolan Marowak, then I'm able to win CMP with the Hydro Cannon and guarantee that whatever energy they farm off my Registeel won't be put to good use, and I'll be able to win CMP there. But let's kind of get into these battles. Every single day of this week so far with my battles, like first couple sets, I gain like 80 points, and then the last 3 sets I lose like that same amount. So I've been making zero climbing progress in Go Battle League right now. I'm still sitting around like the high 2900s range, and so continuing to just try to climb. But this is a very long season, and I'm trying to use some new teams to produce some content for you all, but I am slightly running out of ideas of teams that I personally think are strong. I know I get a lot of team recommendations from a lot of different people, but if I personally don't think that they're well-rounded or not enough or strong, in my opinion, then I don't really enjoy using them as much. So Skarmory against the Azumarill is a pretty neutral matchup. If you can sneak in like an extra Air Slash, this is really good. I store energy, and then I switch into my Swampert. I have a lot of energy stored on the Swampert right now. I'm easily going to be able to get to 2 Hydro Cannons here, but it's not going to be enough. You see me throwing 1 Mud Shot before I throw the charge move. Reason being is I want to get in a Mud Shot and also be able to queue up my charge move in that duration that my opponent is getting 1 fast move through. Unfortunately here, my only win condition is if I was able to farm that down and then land 2 moves on the Azumarill there. So my opponent played that very, very well. Good game. Swampert into Marowak. Okay, this is very favorable here. My opponent switches in the Azumarill, and what I tend to do here is I throw a Sludge Wave and then see what they want to do. I am going to be bringing Registeel on this. They shield, and I stay in there for a long time trying to catch on Registeel, which I am able to do. I find that most people that are like using Azumarill as a safe swap tend to not run Hydro Pump, is what I found, and so Registeel is a pretty good shutdown to this. However, since I was so slow to the swap, what's going to happen is that they're going to be able to switch lock their Alolan Marowak back onto my Registeel. But if the Azumarill is running Play Rough, or if it's running Hydro Pump, I don't feel as comfortable being the Registeel in this matchup unless I do have a shield advantage or a significant damage advantage, which is why I throw the Sludge Wave on the Swampert. I store a move there, and then I'm able to switch my Swampert into their Alolan Marowak here. Worst case scenario is that there's a grass in the back and I get hard farmed, but Skarmory's going to put an end to that. So let's see what they bring out. I'm sitting in a very positive scenario here. It is Meganium, and I'm not going to be able to reach the Sludge Wave. I'm one Mud Shot short. So I'll just do a little bit of chip damage here, but Skarmory's going to get a nice farm here, and I still have a move stored on Registeel, so this is a pretty solid victory just purely based on team comp. I do like this Swampert Double Steel because it beats the original version of the Bastiodon Double Razor Leafer. The unfortunate thing is that I've actually been seeing more and more of Shadow Vic in the lead now, and it's very, very tough because what they typically pair with Shadow Vic is like a counter user, which hard punishes the Registeel, and then the Bastiodon in the back, which punishes the Skarmory. So, okay, this matchup, Swampert is supposed to win unless the opponent sneaks in one extra counter. I think it actually flips this matchup. And I, for the life of me, have not been able to successfully fast move deny, even though I'm doing the mechanic correct. I really feel like it's based on connection and like what region that you're playing in, because it's just such an inconsistent mechanic, which is really unfortunate. They get 2 free counters in on this matchup, and then there's no way that I can flip this back. So I just switch into Skarmory here. I anticipate this being a close combat. My Swampert does not have a move store. I think this is the match where I just get absolutely obliterated. Yeah, out comes the Stunfisk. I don't even have a Hydro stored on my Swampert, so I have 0 play here. Because what they're going to do is just build to back-to-back Rock Slides and then be able to land that on my Swampert. I could try to get fancy and catch on Registeel. I was hoping that they would just blind throw here, so that's why I bring in my Registeel, but they're too smart, and this is absolutely game over, absolutely destroyed because my opponent got 2 free counters in the lead there, and there's nothing I could do there. Good game. Swampert into Galvantula. So this is actually still somewhat of a neutral scenario now that Galvantula runs Lunge. I always build to 6 Mud Shots before I throw because it forces the CMP tie and guarantees that they don't sneak an extra Volt Switch through. Because it's very punishing if they're able to do that. And this allows me to throw this Hydro here. They let it go, so I'm wondering if they're going to come in with a Grass type and farm me down. It's actually a Medicham. I have no idea what could be in the back with this team. They're very weak to Alolan Marowak, so an Azumarill would make sense. But I just have to let the Swampert go down to guarantee that my Skarmory gets aligned on this. If there's a Stunfisk in the back, I'm very worried, but they're deciding to stay in here, so I'm thinking that might not be the case. They let the Medicham go down, and they save 2 shields for their Azumarill. This is a pretty favorable scenario for me. I tried to catch an Ice Beam or something on my Reggie, but it did not work. But I still doubt that they're running Hydro, just in case. I do shield that up there, though. Honestly, Flash Cannon and Sky Attack do fairly similar amounts of damage. And so I can really kind of spend my shields wherever I want. I shield this here, and at this point, I'm pretty convinced that they don't have Hydro. So this is pretty favorable for me. Just going to burn these shields with the Flash Cannon. I have energy stored on Skarmory. Yeah, so Azumarill in the back does make sense with this team comp, because they're extremely weak to Alolan Marowak running Galvantula and Medicham. So I'm able to switch into my Skarmory, and they concede the match there. Good game. Oh, this game is intense. So Azumarill lead is not too bad for Swampert. If you can land the Sludge Wave, that's great. But ideally, I am still going to try to make a swap here on the off chance that there is a Stunfisk in the back. I have to shield up this Ice Beam. I shield because my opponent shielded. And then right here, I'm going to catch on my Registeel. I know this is an Ice Beam, so that's good for me. The Azu's now out of energy. Hard punished by an Alolan Marowak, but that's what I expected. And that's why storing all that energy on Swampert is going to be so nice, because no matter how much energy this Alolan Marowak farms, I'm going to be able to guarantee that I win the CMP tie because Swampert has more attack than Alolan Marowak. So I'm going to get farmed down here. That's fine by me. Alolan Marowak is in a health range where one Hydro Cannon is going to be able to take him out. So I just bring this in immediately, and I think I'm like one Mud Shot away from another Hydro. They shield this, which is pretty surprising. I do shield up the Shadow Bone, and I'm able... They actually swap into their Azumarill right there. I'm over farming because I knew that they were out of energy. The Sludge Wave connects, and now I'm going to be able to get my Skarmory on this and farm down. Going to get hit by only one Ice Beam here, which is good. I know that they still have their Alolan Marowak, and I'm anticipating that there is a Sableye in the back because Azumarill Double Ghost is still fairly common. I really wanted to be able to farm down this Marowak, but it was not happening, and then I lose CMP here, which is very, very bad. So I'm able to Mud Shot it down. It's a Shiftry in the back, and I'm barely able to get this Sludge Wave off. This is why running Sludge Wave is so clutch, to be able to one-shot that Shiftry and then Mud Shot it down. Insane game. Very, very close. Good game. Swampert into Stunfisk. Okay, this is obviously favorable for me. They come in Machamp, and so this is a little bit scary because I feel like if this is a normal Machamp, non-Shadow, but I feel like if they double shield, they can potentially regain swap. But I feel like this strategy that they're using is intentional to bait out the flyer, and then Stunfisk gets to hard farm me. That's okay. I have a full health Swampert, and I've maintained the alignment. That's the most important thing. Now I'm most likely going to go for Sky Attack here, and the reason being is I don't want to be Mud-Shotted all the way down. If I go for Brave Bird, that opens up a window of opportunity for them to fully Mud-Shot me down, and that is terrible for my Swampert. So I'm just going straight Sky Attack here. This forces them to commit energy. They can't stack Rock Slide and Earthquake back to back, so I know that I won't immediately get hit by an Earthquake, but they do have the energy for it right now. I will commit the shield here. It's a Skarmory in the back, so I'm farming up a bunch of energy, and then I bring out the Registeel. Still in a pretty good spot here, but I was slow to the swap, so I know that our switch clocks are out of sync. So I just need to guarantee that when my opponent brings that Stunfisk in, that I'm close to a move to be able to throw on it. But Skarmory up 2 shields can beat my Registeel if they want. So you see me over farming there before I throw this Focus Blast, just to have as much residual energy as possible. Both shields go down. There's the Stunfisk. I immediately switch into my Swampert. I'm gonna Hydro this thing out of here, and I have another Hydro stored. Gonna be able to land it on the Skarmory. They do get an Air Slash through right there, but this is okay. I'm able to get to another Hydro because I farmed so heavily with my Swampert, and I'm going to be able to take this game there. Good game. Definitely favorable team comp for me. Swampert into Abomasnow. Okay, this is very scary here. And the unfortunate... This might be the match where I lag a little bit, and like fast move desync causes me to lose CMP. Okay, they get an extra Powder Snow through there. I'm going to go for the Hydro Cannon. And then here, I'm trying to go straight for the Sludge Wave. I get baited again, which is really not good. Going to throw this Hydro here. And then this is getting a little scary. So I switch into my Registeel, and then they bring out a Azumarill. So this is interesting. I still don't think that this Azumarill has Hydro Pump, though. I have loaded energy on my Swampert, and I should win the CMP tie against Abomasnow, if I remember correctly. I don't think they have Hydro. They do have Hydro. That's okay. That is okay. Azumarill is going to be able to win this matchup here. But I kind of want to be able to farm it with my Skarmory. So I maybe should have stopped doing fast moves there to allow for more health to be farmed. I bring out my Skarmory and I don't get hit by a move. That's good for me. They probably bring out the Abomasnow. They do. And then I'm expecting them to try to catch on something. Catch a Sky Attack. They throw 2 Weather Balls here. This thing was very heavily loaded. I still have a lot of energy stored on Swampert. It's a Sableye in the back. I really throw this game here. I go for the Brave Bird here. And then I needed to farm a little bit more there to guarantee that I could get to the Sludge Wave here, because I'm not able to. And then, yeah, I definitely threw that game. I needed to save the energy on my Skarmory for this endgame scenario. It's a really nice play by my opponent. Zapdos, Shadow Zapdos, this is kind of a wild thing to see. You don't see this a lot. They get an extra Thunder Shock through there. So these Hydro Cannons essentially are going to like one-shot the Zapdos. So I know I'm going to get shields. But Drill Peck is also going to hurt, and I did get an extra Mud Shot through there. They switch into Azumarill. I'm farming a lot, and then I will attempt a catch on my Registeel. They let that Sludge Wave through. I store a Hydro, and then I get out of there, and I'm able to successfully catch this move. So pretty positive scenario for me. They're also in Flash Cannon range. So what I'm going to try to do here is undercharge a Flash Cannon to be able to lock on them down. Oh, I don't even do that. That's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. I should have undercharged that. Oh my gosh, because out comes Machamp. Yeah, this is not great because I'm just giving them a lot of free energy. I know that I'm going to get a shield here. I still have the alignment that I want. I'm going to essentially bring in Skarmory as just a damage sponge here. I have a move stored on Swampert. They blind through here, so I felt like it was going to be a cross chop, and it is. I can tank that. And then at this point, even if it's Rock Slide, I can't shield this, but I most likely am going to get into Swampert right here and immediately throw the Hydro to deny them of this energy. I know the Zapdos still has loaded energy as well, but I'm at the Hydro here. I lose the CMP, but I know that this Hydro Cannon will be coming through and should easily take out this Zapdos at this health range. And I'm very close to a move on Skarmory anyways, so good game there. Skarmory really acted as a good damage sponge here. This battle's up against the Asian Milkman, another content creator on Twitch, very talented battler. I know his team already because he runs the same team pretty much through all the different seasons. It's Mew, Scrafty, and Skarmory. So I know that alignment is going to be pretty important here. Somehow he gets an extra Shadow Claw through, which is just unfortunate. I believe that allows Mew to win this in the 2 shield going straight Surf if you can get that extra Shadow Claw through, and there's still 1 Shadow Claw ahead of me. So we're still even in shields here. I'm going to go straight for this Hydro. It doesn't look like he got another Shadow Claw through. He double shields, and I'm going to get farmed down, and that is okay. Registeel is just going to absorb this damage, because even 2 Wild Charges I'm not really that scared of. And I know that Skarmory is going to kind of be my win condition. I want energy on Registeel for when he brings in the Scrafty. I know the Focus Blast is going to hit for a lot of damage there. I'm able to lock on it down. Scrafty's going to come in, most likely. And I overfarm a little bit, and then I just go straight for the Focus Blast. I was worried that he was going to try to catch on Skarm, but Focus Blast lands, and then I'm able to switch into my own Skarmory. I knew that this was just a power-up punch, so I don't need to shield this. I have my own Skarmory up a shield against his Skarmory, so this is looking fairly favorable for me, but it's definitely still not over. Just going straight Sky Attack. I accidentally over tap here, and that's wasted energy on that Air Slash, because I was already capped on energy, so that's a big mistake there. Just gonna throw Sky Attack. It's still not in Brave Bird range, and I'm getting dangerously close to being in Brave Bird range, so I'm gonna throw a Brave Bird here, and then most likely switch into Reggie right there. Out comes Scrafty. I'm able to lock on it down. Their Skarmory gets a little bit of farm, but I'm able to get to this Flash Cannon, and that'll solidify the game there. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate this content. Best of luck out there in Go Battle League, and I'll see you in the next video.